All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Super Mario Brothers. 1993 Super Mario Brothers. Lee, I know you've seen this before.
It has a special place in my heart, this movie.
It deserves a special place.
I believe it has, as you know, for you as well.
Oh, this movie's fantastic.
Yeah,
and I will fight anybody who says it's not.
Everyone thinks that it's bad, and it kind of is, but it's also great.
It definitely I think it became great because of some of the bad things that happened.
Right?
And even the people involved in making the movie are wrong for not liking it.
No, yeah. I mean, like, it's not just like people on the internet that want to make oh, we're gonna crap on this movie video. No, it's also like all the people in it have like apologized.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins, he hates it.
Big,
John Leguizamo doesn't like it.
Disown this movie.
Dennis Hopper said it was a mistake.
No, but I think it's special. I think there's something going on there. Not just so bad it's good, or bad or like good because it's bad. It also has goodness that we will have to spoil the movie to get into. But,
exactly.
This is worth checking out. It's crazy.
All right, guys. So if you've seen this or don't care, false over to spoilers. And I do say you should definitely go see this one if you haven't seen it. But if you haven't, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Super Mario Brothers. Let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
I like a remix. I like a reimagining. I like an anime called Alice that takes like the Alice in Wonderland storyline and puts it in space or something. Like, do something interesting. And I like this movie for that reason.
I like it a lot. I think because this is a jumbled mess is what makes it so great. So like originally it was going to be this like darker, grittier thing.
Come and get it, lizard breath!
And then the studio kind of made it this kiddie thing. But all the sets were already made in dark and gritty, so it could only ever get so kiddie. And I think that's how you end up with this awesome thing that I know most people seem to not enjoy. Most people that made the movie don't seem to like it, but I think they're wrong, and this movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like, my biggest gripe is actually the music, I think.
Hey, go on, pick a direction. Any direction you like. Hey, that looks good. Over there, huh? That's it. Let's die there.
Okay.
It plays weird, like, circus action.
Yeah.
Like, and like that doesn't fit for me because of the stuff you're talking about. Where they've tried to make a movie, not like a gritty, like, you know, like Mary doesn't drop the F-bomb or something, or like shoot someone like directly in the head.
Suck my mushroom tip, you fucking cannibal pig!
But yeah, it doesn't feel like a weird romp. It feels dark. People get stabbed or something.
The music was probably their last ditch. Like, I think we can change this dark tone by putting in this fruity music. Like, oh, here you go.
I think like Nintendo was kind of like, what are you doing? Oh my god.
I don't think Nintendo actually had almost anything to do with it until it was completely done.
Which is why they never made another one for years.
Yeah, the first one they made again was Detective Pikachu.
Oh, really?
Just like, what, 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah,
you can hear him, right?
Pika Pika! Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
They were
So like, yeah, they've been out of the game for quite a while.
We need full control. Everyone says that on the internet. Is like they had planned Metroid, they wanted Zelda, but this like they were like, nope, kill it all. They got
I would have loved a 90s movie of Metroid and Zelda. Those would have been great.
No, I know. It would have been a cool.
Or even like a world movie where like all the Nintendo characters like exist in one thing.
And everyone would have been like, Ready Player One's just ripping that off.
Yeah, like a Donkey Kong thing. Yeah, like a Kirby in there. Do some cool stuff.
Donkey Kong like smokes a cigar and he's like a gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're in the world talking about like a reimagine of What If, what would you do if you heard this movie was starring King Koopa as Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mario as Danny DeVito?
I was just gonna say only if Mario can be Danny DeVito,
and Luigi Tom Hanks.
That sounds great.
That is what could have been.
Yep.
Arnold, turned it down. I can't blame him, honestly.
Fool.
To be Mr. Koopa himself. Tom Hanks was rejected. They said after Turner and Hooch, he wasn't a big enough draw. Didn't think he was going to be on the up. He's one of the biggest stars in the world.
Thank you for clarifying. Yes, no, that's hilarious. They were like, get this scrub out of here.
And I love John Leguizamo, so I think he's great in this. And I don't know, like, At the time, honestly, Tom Hanks probably could have fit in that role pretty easily. He was great in Dragnet, and it would have been like a similar style of a character, I'd imagine, like in his look.
Wouldn't a couple of Danishes go great with this coffee right now?
But Danny DeVito, I think, would have been a hilarious, especially young Danny DeVito.
Yeah, no, I would take those three or the three we had, but not mix and match them.
No, yes, do not mix and match.
I want only ones that are the other. Because I also love Dennis Hopper. Like there's a lot of goodness
Hopper
in
is
here
great.
Stuff. Yeah.
Because I'm out of here. I'm out into the bigger world. I got a couple of plumbers bringing me the rest of the meteorite.
Yeah.
He's great, and he's a great bad guy in a lot of things that just flop completely. I love him in Waterworld, and I'm like, well, that's not a bad movie. Why does everyone hate that movie?
That's another movie everyone hates.
Yeah.
They heard the thing of like, it costs so much money, and they were like, I hate this for no reason.
Both man and fish and no combination thereof. He does not abide the notion of evolution. Amen.
There's a lot of people that shit on movies because they're on the train of shitting on movies. It used to drive me nuts with Blair Witch. Everyone would shit on Blair Witch, and I would eventually get to the point, like me saying like parts that were good, and be like, well, what didn't you like? And no one that I'd ever argue with had ever seen it.
Like, why didn't you see it?
Yeah, I heard it was bad. I hate you. Heard it was bad.
It's not the same log, Mike.
Same log.
Look, it's not.
It is. Open your eyes.
It's not the same log.
No, and like that definitely happens a lot. Blair Witch is slightly unique because of like the marketing campaigns. People were like, I irrationally hate you because you tried to trick me or something.
Yeah.
But yes, if you haven't seen the movie, you can't actually be like, I know. Well, I don't know anything about that movie except that it's bad. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's movie racism.
Do you, it's prejudiced something?
Sure.
Do you think that that's what this movie is? That's the camp that we're
I
in?
think there's definitely a cool to kick it while it's down kind of thing, but based on all the actors involved not liking it and the financial flop of what we had, this is the same year we had Jurassic Park come out, it's certainly not on the same level as that movie, and they both arguably have dinosaurs involved at one stage or another, some to a bigger degree, obviously. So it's not that it's trying to be the same movie, but these would have been in the same demographic. They would have both family movies that you would have gone to see, and it certainly did not rise to that challenge. But I think it's a super fun movie. I would have loved to have seen the dark and grittier version of the movie.
Yeah.
This movie, left a cliffhanger that, as a child, I was waiting for
so
long. I was like, well, where's the sequel?
Luigi, Mario!
Daisy!
You gotta come with me. I need your help.
What's wrong?
You're never gonna believe this.
And not till a webcomic came out by the original writer did we ever get a sequel.
Oh, we got a sequel in comic form.
Yes.
My God.
A webcomic, so you couldn't even, I don't think it was ever pressed.
Save as.
Yes. I think it's SuperMarioBrothers2.com if you're looking to see it.
Oh, that's great. No, I love the ending because it hints at more stuff's happening. So to me, this movie always felt like he chopped down a cherry tree and cannot tell a lie, but it's like the real history is much more complicated. This felt like the real history, and that's what led to the game where it's like the Nintendo can only capture so much, and the game is just like a simplified thing where it's like Lincoln doing some dumb thing or something like that.
Sure.
And like the real history was this grand thing with all this nuance where like the story would have been retold. Like, there's like a king who got turned into fungus or something.
May I present to you your father, the fungus, Koopa's first victim of de-evolution.
And they're like, Mushroom Kingdom got it, and just like writing down little quick things to put into the
it's actually great, like the little Easter egg things of like being a person who played, Nintendo. You're like, oh, that's Big Bertha.
Use the stompers!
Okay, that's like, Bullet Bill is the ammo that goes into the little jump cartridges.
Deal with it!
Oh, they have these boots to jump. That explains how he jumps so high.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it all. This is so cool.
And they
that's Toad. Okay.
You know the law, Toad!
And they literally jump with like milk crates, like square, like blocks on their heads to break through something. So again, if you had just heard this as like a legend, and then we're like, let's make a game of that, it would be this ridiculous game that, because there's almost no story in the game. So everyone's like, if you're like, this is not Mario's supposed to, I'm like, how do you know what Mario's supposed to be? Don't be ridiculous. Yes.
The visuals though are the thing that I can't get. I couldn't get enough of them as a kid. I loved what is it called, Dino Manhattan or whatever it is.
Yes.
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Dino Hatton.
Dino Hatton, some bullshit.
But
I love that. It's such a weird, cool look.
When he spins the globe and it's like just that one city.
Yeah.
And he says like endless desert, but the globe is spinning. It's just this orb with one city full of skyscrapers.
It reminds me of Judge Dredd. Where there's just like cities
like
and wasteland.
Yes, exactly.
And I like that. I think that's a cool concept. It makes me wonder a lot about it because presumably there was not this big city before he went to our world and knew there was something to do copy based off of. So I wondered what their thing was, where materials came from. They have a very interesting car network where they're like on a grid for power.
Yes. Okay.
I like that. It's dirty and fun.
Okay. So like now that I'm an old man, I'm like, they don't have oil because the oil came from the dead dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So they have to use these weird trolley like electric car systems and stuff. That's amazing.
Isn't it?
That's so much better than like it has any right to be or like deserves to be. That's great.
Look at this one. The way the bones fit here and the opposable thumb. It's almost as if he was a monster trying to be a human being.
I love Yoshi in this. I think that it's great to have this and this is the only real comparison you have to the Jurassic Park thing I mentioned earlier, where you have this animatronic, you have an actual little dinosaur here. They spent $500,000 making this dinosaur. It has 9 operators and like 70 little wired switches that do different things.
It's like a very complicated thing.
Yeah, and it looks awesome.
Hey, don't do that. You'll hurt yourself.
Yeah.
I'm totally into this. Like that kind of stuff. More of that, please. I love the Goombas. I like everything visual about this movie.
No, and the whole world. This is like the. It's reminding me of Tank Girl too, but also like Fifth Element and other stuff where it's like it's this other world, whether it's the future or some other dimension or whatever, but it's like this dirty world.
Yeah.
Where it's like, everything is stupid and silly and dirty and makes no sense, and you're like, what? And it's like exactly that always felt more realistic to me than like other visions of either of the future or alternate dimensions, different planets, whatever.
Speaking of alternate dimensions, different planets thing, the way they get there through that portal is so weird to how you would even discover it, because it's like over a chasm you jump. So if you were to casually stroll through it from the other side, which our boys do to leave, they would have been like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And that's weird. It has a cool visual look. Like that kind of stuff was new. Like face texturing through the rock and stuff.
When the face comes through, though, I was like, uh-oh, how old is this movie?
But it has a creepy look. It is old. It's definitely
it's very
old.
Yes, but it has a dated look, is my point.
Daisy! Is that you?
I think, but certain dated things look creepier to me, and I don't know what that is. Like if I see the more pixels or something.
That's
but
a you thing. Yeah.
It's certainly a weird look, and I like it.
Yeah, it's striking.
It's a very convoluted plot in general, where it's like we have this one piece of the rock.
Without that piece, the meteorite lays dormant. I'll not be able to merge the dimensions. Where is it?
Is what does this and makes you go through that. I'm like, how did you get through in the first place? Like without that, if I was here,
I was instantly like Dark Crystal. This is great. We have to put this thing back in the crystal, and that joins things. Like
it's like a perfect sphere missing one little peg.
Like when you see it, it's so dumb. Yes, it's a giant perfect sphere, and she's just like putting this little tic tac into the side of it. It's so dumb compared to the Dark Crystal, where it's like a shard that goes into like a crystalline structure that makes sense. It's
a shard housing.
Like a shard sheath.
Over here, Pudgy Buns.
Oh, come on. There's no time for that now. Come on.
No, it's because it's a love story.
Yeah.
I expected Bob Hoskins, because like I knew the ending, but like I'm like watching the movie to try to watch the movie now. So I was like, oh, does he stay? I'm staying here with her, and they like have a thing.
She falls head over heels in love with him. That's like such a weird story that I have to imagine things got cut out, because I know that this movie was like chopped down to be like shorter.
Yeah.
So I think there's like 20 plus minutes like on the floor here, and then a lot of things were just constant rewrites and lost things. But there had to have been something more that like, because she stole the necklace from them.
You want to give us the rock bag lady?
Come and get it, big boy.
punches him, and then the next time they see each other, like, you know, she punches him again, or no, she punches him when she sees him again.
The name's Mario. I'm your main man. You Ramadan, you can of Spain.
And then he tries to steal it back. They dance a little bit, but she like falls in love in that moment.
Dance with me. I'll hit you all you like.
Hit Mario. Go Mario.
When they dance and they do like what is it called? Dipser? Yeah, and he tries to grab it with his teeth and he's just in it and stuff. Oh man.
Even his little like swatting, trying to get like out of her hand on the neck. She's like, oh.
Yeah. He seduces her accidentally.
He's all Saturday Night Fevered out with his like tux. I thought that would have been a good chance to give them in their colors, but they didn't do that.
It's like a Dumb and Dumber where they have weird, outlandish things.
Isn't this a little bit feminine? Yes, I know. It was my ex-wife's.
But you wear this stuff?
Yes, on occasion we have a date.
Who do you date, a canary?
Like ex-wife's clothes, I think they say.
No,
or Spike. I forgot which one it was.
I love the Bertha stuff because there's a whole thing there where like they get mugged by an old lady.
You shouldn't want to around without a weapon.
Yeah.
You got one?
No.
All right. Get him up, sucker!
Oh my God.
I was like,
do you have a gun?
Do you have a weapon? No, ma'am. And she's like, good. Put him up. And like this great little like, oh, the world sucks here. Everything's dark. And then you're like, oh, someone's saving them. And then she steals it too.
Yeah.
She's just mugging the mugger.
Don't touch that. Hey.
Just fine.
That's not even ours.
And she tosses the old lady.
She
like,
tosses her. She like lands in a car, and when she like comes to, she shoots the guy driving the car.
Like, get out of here.
So that world is so weird, and they said that it would cost so much money to make. It's like a full ass cement factory they converted into this thing, and I believe that it was the same place they shot the Foot Clan stuff for Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
And I think some other movies as well. But it's like this big ass thing because it's huge. They're driving cars through it like it looks like a mall. It looks almost like the Palisades Mall, but like, you know, from the future and fucking dirty.
Yeah, the dirtiness really sells it. The car chases are great. The cop cars have like bulldozer things on the front of them.
Cow catchers, yeah.
Because they're just like, get out of here, or whatever, yeah. And then when the cop car gets caught by the cables at the at the police station, because you can tell
they come in hot.
And in that scene, Toad is just like no selling it, and the other two are freaking out. I think hopefully this is what this actually happens, because he knows. Oh no, there's like this is how this works. It stops the car. They're like, oh, and like driving full speed towards the wall. It's great.
I like just little things like that because it's such a fun part of world building, just adding little concepts and things, and they're for 1 second, and they're not cheap, and it's bam, there it is. Like the computers they use are all gun based. Because it's a Nintendo thing, and like it's like that's how you operate the computer. I'm like, that's super cool. The de-evolved guns in the end of the movie.
Yeah. Give me that Devo gun!
Are the what are they called? The super scopes.
Prepare yourself. You might want to consider some basic training exercises.
And I'm like, that's cool too.
So like literally I'm watching this, I'm like, that's just a super scope painted purple. They stole this. Someone should tell them oh wait, no. it's them. They got the thing. It's great, yes.
I'd like the Koopa special.
Pterodactyl tail on that?
Yes. Dino, lizard, hold the mammal, no worms, and spicy.
No, when he orders a pizza, we're just like holding a gun pointing at the screen and being like, yep, hold this, extra mammal, do that, hold the thing. It's great.
Where's my pizza?
Does that pizza ever come? I feel like doesn't get that pizza.
They turn that into like a very regrettable running joke where he's like, "Where's my pizza?" And then later he's like, "Oh, your pizza's here." So it's like, "Not now," because he's like trying to take over the world and stuff.
Too late, humans.
Sir, your pizza's here.
Not now. Looks like I win.
I would have liked to have seen the pizza.
Right?
I don't know what that looks like. They're bathing in mud.
What are you doing here instead of being in the desert? Heading them off.
That's exactly what I told him, sir. Exactly what I told him.
Their world is full of germs. They're constantly defungusing because he made the mistake of fungifying the king.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I read that as Koopa is a germaphobe, and I read that as Koopa is Donald Trump mixed with Max Headroom and the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Well, Max Headroom makes sense
because of the hair, right? And his
and because they directed it.
Well, yeah, there's a connection there, obviously. But
For
yes, I was like, aha, this is the thing. And he's very evil and rapey and stuff. So I was like, yes, add this to the list with Biff and everybody else who's just a Donald Trump ripoff. It's great.
Yeah, and he's the president, so.
Yeah,
even more. They were ahead of their time.
I wish there were like slogans because it just says vote Koopa, but there's no other choice than to
One
vote
says
Koopa.
like he's sensitive or something, and it's like him holding a baby.
The baby, right.
And I'm like, that's a weird look.
Yeah, but he constantly has like a little Kleenex or like a little thing. There's a weird scene where he like dips both of his hands into like
an acid or something.
Yeah. It looks like he's putting his hands into like deep fryers, but then when they come out, they're covered in like weird candle wax or something.
Yeah.
And then he's like wiping it off or something. Was like crazy, exfoliating or something? There's something crazy going on.
It's I always took it as something to do with how the king is all spread everywhere because the police people are like defungusing them and like they coat Mario in the slime. They do it off screen to the princess.
They go through like an Austin Powers conveyor belt where they're gooping them and they're like spraying them with fire extinguishers and stuff. Yes, it's great.
So when they get into their little prison cell, which is like stacked cages, like they're in the veterinarians.
Oh my God, yes.
Which is also fun.
This is great because to them, this is just only they are filthy filthy mammals.
Yeah.
So they are putting all their own people into weird chicken coop cages and stuff. Yeah. Last thing about Dennis Hopper, he holds his arms like a T-Rex.
Well, that's who he's evolved from.
I don't think I picked that up. Or if I did, I like forgot about it by now. Is he's got this awesome, like while he's doing his thing, he'll sometimes revert to this weird posture where he's doing the T-Rex thing. It's great.
I think that from this viewing, and I've seen this movie a lot. I think this was the first time I cued into who the king was. I'm like, Lance Hendrickson.
I'm back. Love those plumbers.
Oh God.
Oh man. I don't think I ever noticed that.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. I was about to say the other thing that I'm sure that I've remembered and forgotten 100 times, like some weird memory.
He's in the movie for like. It's
less
almost,
than 10 seconds.
What's that other movie he's in for 10 seconds? They're equal screen time.
But he's not on the cover of this movie.
No.
It's not a lie. So Lance Hendrickson, we are both fans of him, right? Mm-hmm. He has devolved, tie-in, into the kind of famous person who just shows up to like Bruce Willis. He's just going to be in a movie for he shows up to film for like 3 days.
Put him on the cover.
And he's his huge head on the cover, right? Yeah, he's the king. I think in my head this was the Jumping Jack Flash guy, the weird Lexus commercial guy.
To reduce body flakes, so seams and joints stay tight.
I did always wonder, how did he even re-evolve?
I don't know.
Like, why did that happen? Like, he didn't get into the chamber
because they won. What do you mean?
But that's literally what happened. They're like
okay,
spell.
Yes.
But and that would work if it were a spell or something. But it was all technology. It wasn't a spell at all.
Sufficiently advanced technology is like magic to you, mammal.
Like the same way that Scripelli should never turn back to a person because they're not evolving him again.
I'm the boss here.
I'm Anthony Scarpelli. I'm the boss elsewhere.
Are you familiar with the concept of breaking a spell? No, I know. I love how when he like coughs and it's like in his hand, I guess, but like chunks fly out.
Yeah.
Like his insides still have fungus and he's still like coming together.
I did read was his idea, and it was a handful of Rice Krispies.
The man, the legend, Lance Hendrickson from 30 years ago.
It's weird because they wouldn't let John Leguizamo do any ad-libbing, but they let him cough out Rice Krispies.
Well,
and John Leguizamo, known for his ad-libbing.
I can't believe that a lot of those things were not ad-libs because they're not great.
Apparently, it was a husband and wife directing team, and everyone was like, they suck.
Yeah.
There's a story about him throwing hot coffee on an extra because he didn't like his clothes. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they sounded like I feel like that's why the actors might hate the movie, between like the poor reception and their poor experience on set.
Well, and the script was changing every day.
Yeah, it was a bad,
so I'm like, that would make me dislike something overall. But
absolutely.
And I guess depending on their age, they might have already been fans of like Mario. Like I know, like Bob Hoskins had no idea. He's like, oh, this is based on a game. Like his son's like, yeah, this game, and like held up his copy.
I just imagine like that scene of him finding it out, where like Michael Bay spins around him. He's like, oh no, and he's like freaking out about the fact that it's great.
Yeah, this might
not
be the
again.
Very first video game movie. I can't think of anything before this.
Unless you count War Games, which we don't.
I don't. Maybe Trust the Fungus.
Trust the fungus. I think he's trying to give me this bomb.
No, I mean when he like does it in like it Captain America shields and blocks the laser, and I'm like, what?
I'm gonna make a monkey out of you, plumber. Trust the fungus.
The worst part of the whole movie has to be when Luigi goes, I think I can make this jump, and he jumps and a hook catches his belt.
Yeah.
I'm flying, Mario. I'm flying. Come on, I told you, all you have to do is trust. Come on. Just do it. Come on, just have faith. Jump.
And he somehow thinks he's flying, doesn't feel all the weight of his body pressed into his abdomen from this fucking belt.
And also the angle, Mario should be able to see that he's just hanging from a hook.
Yeah, okay.
Come on. No, wait, Mario, don't jump. No, it's not. No.
You would think.
I feel like, but he's still okay, and jumps off the thing. This is a bookend. This is like a callback to when he jumps through the portal, and then Bob. It's actually like very funny scene where he's trying to like test the portal, but he can't reach it, and he's going back and forth. And now this is his like
leap of faith.
Like I'm gonna do it. I believe in you now. Ah! Falls.
No, I'm not flying. It's just a hook. Mario.
Into the portal, he falls so hard that his body goes all the way upside down.
That is so dumb to me, and that's a tiny thing that I forgot. But yes, he literally it's like parallel, and he somehow ends up being upside down when he lands in it. Or something. It's crazy.
The movie is not without errors. There's a lot of scenes where their belts are on and off. They have the fancy boots and they don't have the fancy boots at certain times.
Yeah.
But like, I don't give a shit about those things because it's a fun movie.
No, and there's a lot of stuff that you could. So like, I really wonder how this came about, if they had like a checklist, because it definitely has a vibe of like cheating, where it's like, we technically put this in the movie, look, it's a bomb, we did it. Or like, look, they're jumping, see? As if they had like a list of things to hit, and they found creative ways to hit them without compromising their like insane vision of how it should be.
I would love to read the original script.
See, Yoshi's tongue, it's Yoshi, get it? And then they moved it on to the next thing.
Because it was supposed to be like a really darker movie.
Yeah.
And I want to know what that was. It was like delve deeper into their relationship and like trust in the family, because like they're like losing their place. They're 3 months behind their rent.
The rent is 3 months overdue.
Their van breaks down. So like they're not in a good spot.
Take it easy, will you?
Relax, it's been making that sound all week.
Oh, come on, Luigi. You didn't tell me.
Luigi barely wants to even be a plumber. And like that was supposed to get explored more. You're going to get these characters that are going to go deeper into things.
That's hilarious too when they're there. Oh God, there's so many funny things here. The like henchmen who like sabotage the place, they're wearing like shirts that have the name of the mobster guy, the like business guy.
Hey, you guys!
This is Scapelli.
Oh, no!
They showed up to do a crime in like identifiable things, and then she's like, "Yeah, it's good you're here. You're a plumber." He's like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what to do."
You're a plumber, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I know exactly what to do. Mario, Scapelli's flooding the site.
We need your help.
And then cut to him getting Mario. Like, I can't do this. What are you talking about?
Well, either way, he has to go home because he doesn't have any tools. So, like, what could he do?
It is, but it's very funny because it cuts to him being like, "We need your help. We need a plumber." And he's like, "All right, let's go."
Him with the girl. Do you eat? Is one of my like lines that like I always think of for Mario. Like, do you eat?
Do you eat?
Yeah.
Dinner?
Sure.
Come on.
Do you eat? Nice. I like his when he's trying to woo her, and she's like, if you want to end this, that's fine. He's like, I was gonna ask you the same thing. If you want to end this and you feel bad about that, and you need someone to talk to, you can call me.
I was gonna ask you the same thing. If you want to end this right now and you feel bad about that, but you want to talk to somebody about it, you can call me.
It's this weird loopy thing where I'm like, I can't imagine that that's not ad libs. So that's hilarious that you're saying like they would not let him.
He said he didn't get any ad libs in.
That's crazy. Yeah, when she becomes the bride of Frankenstein, that's kind of cringy. But later when she like, Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal video just like imprints it, into the wall. I'm like, yes, she definitely left an impression.
Yikes.
Man, she sure makes an impression.
The fucking bomb is wearing Reeboks. Did you notice that?
No, that's great.
It's wearing Reebok shoes. I'm like, and I guess when he's crawling straight up the wall, it's the shoes.
It's got to be the shoes. No, that's an awesome he needs those shoes. He goes on this whole journey. I forgot all about this. They keep cutting back to the bomb that fell, and it's slowly working its way back up. It's great. Yeah.
It really is.
Made me laugh.
And everyone in that world knows a bomb, and they're all avoiding it and running and shit.
It's great.
He's got a bomb!
There's a bunch of lines in here. We've talked about a few that kind of like stick me in some way. And this one's dumb because it's not unique to this movie, but I think when I think of this phrase, it is John Leguizamo. Okay. It's like, nothing's impossible. Improbable, unlikely, but never impossible.
I got 2 words for you. Impossible.
Nothing's impossible, Mario. Improbable, unlikely, but never impossible.
That stupid thing. I'm like, something about like when I heard him say that, I was like, I remember that. It's great.
I like the titular line when these Super Mario Brothers.
These Star Wars.
I'd call them the Super Mario Brothers.
I also love the after credit scene. Like, this is one of the first movies I remember having like an after credit scene as a kid, and I like we're the what do they call it? We're the Super Koopa cousins.
Good idea. I bag her, you grab her.
No, I grab her, you bag her.
That's what I said.
Exactly.
I didn't see that.
Oh my God, you've never seen that?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh my God. Okay, so let me describe it to you.
Is it Spike and Iggy?
It's Spike and Iggy sitting on a couch, and it's the executives from Nintendo are sitting down with them. They're like, we'd like to make a game of your many exploits. What do we call it?
Well, I must say, we have a very exciting proposal.
A video game based on your many adventures.
And they throw a couple names, and it ends with like, the Super Koopa Cousins.
The Super Koopa Cousins.
That's a title drop. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Man, I can't believe I've never seen that.
We didn't talk much about them, but one of them, Iggy, I think, is Steven.
From Hackers.
Steven
Never fear. I is here.
Fisher. Yeah, Hackers is where I most know him from.
Early edition, I think, is what I know him the most from.
He is also the very unfortunate Indian character from the Short Circuit movies.
Yes.
We have much in common. You are lonely because no one is believing you are alive, and I am lonely because Sandy Banatoni is not knowing I am alive.
Which I always forget because it's like night and day, but it's very cringy and dated and stuff. So it was such a nostalgia time warp to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Daisy is also the voice of the main chick in Fern Gully.
I shrank you.
You what?
Well, it was the most amazing thing. Of course, it's not what the spell's really supposed to do.
Because I was like, who do you remind me of?
Daisy also came from an egg. I like the egg aspects. I think that's fun. Like, you see a person carrying the egg, you see the egg.
Dude, the egg on the church steps reminds me of Superman or Goku's pod.
Kinda. It's like and it's
what's happening?
And it's like an egg.
Exactly. And it has the shard in it and everything. It's this whole complete set.
So this is another question, which is a dumb question, I suppose. It didn't appear like there was any words written on that thing or any letter. It was just her charm or whatever. But they did call her Daisy, and her name is Daisy. They know her as Princess Daisy. She was a baby when she left. Presumably might not even have been named. How does everybody know her fucking name?
Yeah.
Very strange.
If only you had been there to tell them. You had to put a little note in that pod that says, by the way, I'm Daisy, and I'm totally not from another dimension. I'm not a reptile. Raise me normally. Thank you.
Don't mind the egg.
Yeah, give me this shard, but once I've hatched, dispose of everything, and then don't mention it ever again. They would have been like, it's the devil. It's the devil, baby.
That's what, yeah, church is a little weird.
There's all these nuns being like, oh no, and stuff, yeah.
I believe there was a lot more setup in that beginning part that got cut out. The animation sequence that starts the movie was an afterthought.
Actually, no people went around hassling them because there weren't any people yet. Just the first tiny mammals.
Oh yeah, jeez.
There was supposed to be, I think, live action things with real dinosaurs and stuff, and I think they were like, fucking Jurassic Park's coming out. We can't fuck this shit.
We can't compete. Just print it, go.
It just don't get no better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really low fucking quality, that opening animation thing. So if you were just catching this, you'd be like, the fuck, give my money back. What the fuck is this shit?
Call Lou Albano? What's his name?
Get me an albino.
Ah. So you're familiar?
I'm familiar.
With the show. What's his name?
I don't know who you're trying to say.
No, he's a wrestler or like wrestler adjacent, and he plays Mario in the live-action Super Friends. Lou Albano,
Lieutenant Dan.
If you're not watching the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, you're gonna turn into a Goomba. Don't be the last on your block to be playing with pasta power.
That's it. You got it. You know, you speak my language.
I love that show.
It's cannoli. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
If you touch, I'll kill you.
I'll meet you in the playground after school.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion